Morning, Shefali.
Very good morning, sir.
How has the weekend started for you?
Fantastic. How was yours, sir?
It's good to hear that. Fantastic. I'm fantastic as well. Shefali, we agreed to have this conversation for about 30 minutes. There are 15 more people watching us having this conversation. What will make you feel comfortable to have this conversation while others are watching us?
Understanding this is completely for the education purpose, and it will have its own, it will serve it very well to everyone. So I'm good.
Yeah, the recording is on. I hope you're aware of that.
Yes.
How would you like to make use of this time for yourself, Shefali?
Sir, I would want to explore two things which are intertwined to me in life. First is how to cultivate the muscle of discipline. And this is directly, it gets stimulated when the next thought comes to my mind is how to say no to people and create healthy boundaries in a respectful manner while not abandoning myself.
How to cultivate the discipline, say no to others, and have a healthy boundary. What is making it so important for you right now, Shefali?
Right now, but in this context, one thing very important I can say is boundary, and another is discipline.
These two words, boundary and discipline, what do they mean to you?
To me, boundary means my safeguard, my zone of protection, which protects me from any harm in the outer world. And so is from my inner world too. And discipline means consistency, showing up every single minute.
Not having the discipline and the boundaries the way that you want to have them, how does that make you feel?
Very first word which comes to me as a feeling is abandonment. It gives me a sense of self abandonment. And that pertains to the loss of myself as an individual.
Abandonment and loss of myself as an individual. When you experience these feelings, who are you being to your own self, Shefali?
Memory. Just a memory.
When you cultivate the discipline and get to a place where you are able to say no and set boundaries, how will your life be different?
I feel more grateful to myself. I feel more valuable. I would probably know the real definition of what this term value means when you have yourself fully in your own control, in your own senses, and have the power to make decisions.
So I'm hearing from a place of feeling abandonment, you will get to a place of feeling valued and grateful. We've been speaking for a while, Shefali. In the remaining time that we have, what in specific would you like to would you like to focus and take away from this session?
I would want to focus more on cultivating the muscle of discipline while saying no.
I noticed a shift in the energy, the way that you said that. I want to cultivate the muscle of energy.
You're a keen observer, so
I noticed a smile and then a laughter. And when you do that, what will that bring for you in your life?
a lot of confidence, of course, but on a deepest level, it will bring a lot of um, decisiveness.
I lost the last word. I heard you say
A
it
lot
will
of,
bring a lot of.
lot of this. I would be more decisive for myself. I would have the idea of what is my inner compass, where it functions from.
As you live this conversation, what will give you the sense that you have got in the direction of finding what you want for yourself?
The difference in feelings when I would be able to express myself fully while saying no. and being disciplined about it in a respectful manner, choosing myself over anything and everything.
Choosing myself over anything and everything. And how are you feeling when you're saying that?
Overwhelming.
And I'm hearing that word overwhelming with a smile.
Where life is meant to receive all the experiences. And that's also one of the experience we love. I'm grateful for that too.
So for us to move from where we are right now to go to that place where you want to be, what do you feel that we may have to focus in the remaining time that we are together?
One thing for sure, how to cultivate the muscle of discipline. I'm not sure about how. Feels like I'm consciously incompetent.
I have to cultivate the muscle of discipline has come in this conversation for the third time. While ago, I heard this phrase internal compass. What does that mean to you, Shefali?
Guiding light. A source which would always tell me to get back on track wherever I go to and how to have it is the power of that source. That's where I see it as internal compass.
Shefali, so far in your life, what has enabled you to stay on track?
Faith, authenticity.
I just noticed your breathing was very long when you mentioned faith. What was going on?
I mean, faith is umbrella term. It has devotion, surrender, and sense of selflessness. And
Devotion, surrender, sense of selflessness. What else has enabled you to stay on track in your life so far?
I'm state of anything at this moment. Optimism, which would again come under faith.
And what does optimism mean to you?
At the end of the tunnel, there is light.
There's a mention of guiding light, and now, end of the tunnel, there is light. We are halfway past the conversation. How has this conversation been for you so far?
Amazing. Um, it has tried to bring some of the things in spotlight to me so far. Those are separate dots. I'm in a zone where I have no expectation to do anything with that. I am surrendering to my coach.
I'm surrendering to my coach. What do these words, devotion, surrender, and the phrase sense of selflessness mean to you, Shefali?
These storms mean to me an offering which says, I don't want to decide anything for myself, regardless of how good, bad, or worse is it. I want to hand over that to someone else with a faith that there would be divine energy to take care of it, as we say, enabling.
And if you take into consideration what you said just now, to get to that place of wanting to cultivate the discipline and the boundaries to say no, what is possible for you?
No idea. I'm not able to fully process this.
If you surrender yourself to that divine energy and allow that divine energy to lead this process for you, what could happen?
Miracles. I think beyond my own imagination. Miracle. I could just think of nanoparticle.
Miracle, miracle. There's a lot of energy in those words.
Yeah, I feel what I should be. who I should be. I will get there, which I cannot decide for myself, by myself.
What are you learning in this conversation so far?
Two things. One from you is observing. Other is sense of attempting to know myself better.
Attempting to know myself better. Where are we right now from? What is that you wanted to take away from this session?
I wanted to take away the thing which could help me to cultivate the muscle of discipline, and we have touched some areas. What does it mean to me?
We are still left with a few more minutes. What would be of use for us to explore further to get closer to what you want to take away?
I would want to stick on same thing.
From whatever you have learned so far in the session, Shefali, if you have to anchor this learning to your life, what could you possibly do?
I would reflect back with neutral mindset, objectively, and optimize the areas which have not been fully demonstrated.
And what would this reflection give you?
Awareness. I don't see any, neither I expect to have any step where I could lead from that reflection immediately. But that would be a very slow, emerging awareness, which would leave some hint to follow a certain direction.
What is that one thing that you will do to reflect the way that you have described?
Journaling.
And when will you start then?
That's something I already do every day. But for today's session, I would do it right before I would go to sleep.
And what will ensure that you're staying consistent with this and moving towards the awareness that you are looking forward?
Shallowness. That won't let me sit happily. So that would happen automatically.
And this journaling that you will continue to do, how would that support you in cultivating the muscle of discipline?
When I said when I described discipline, I meant consistency, showing up. Um, that way, at least I would start in some area to show up in this context every day.
In what way can that support you in setting boundaries and saying no?
That is yet to be explored.
Shefali, we are running out of time. I want to acknowledge for putting up your hand and being willing to be coached while so many other people are watching, and bring a very important topic for you, and trusting the process and going to places to find an answer for yourself. Before we close, Shefali, how would you like to summarize this entire conversation for yourself and bring this to an end?
Well, this conversation is very authentic. Are you a magician? Because I often feel very challenging to describe and express myself during any conversation. And thank you for giving me all the freedom to touch everything which I wanted to, and swiftly returning back to what we wanted to navigate from. I'm sensing a lot of gratitude and gratefulness to you. So thank you.
You're welcome.